Hey guys, Ash here, Command Today in Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, guys. I'm glad to have you here today. Hey, a few days ago on the old community tab, I asked what is your favorite type of content that I post here on the channel. I gotta be real with you guys. I was a little surprised by the results. Now, 6,400 of you guys voted, so a decent chunk, and 53% said champion guides is your favorite type of content. 11% said tier lists and rankings, 14% opinion videos, state of the game rants, etc. Shard openings, 18%, and then news videos, which I normally don't cover. So I'm not sure if it's like a chicken or the egg. Like, you guys don't like news content, but I don't make a lot of news content either. Anyway, 4% of you guys, right? Which is crazy because I'm just not gonna lie to you guys, right? I complain every now and then to Plarium about giving us the news info a little bit earlier, because as it is right now, they give out the news info like, here, the next 10x is gonna be blah, 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 these champions or whatever. And I always get a little bit jealous of the EU creators, which are the majority in Raid, able to get in there and cover that content. Me, I'm usually sleeping or getting my kid ready for school, you know? But it seems like you guys don't even want that.
No, I can sleep peacefully.
So the good news, guys, is in case you were unaware, I have a channel where all I do is post champion guides. It's called Raid Shadow Legends Champion Guides. So we've been doing this for about a year now, and we have around like 280 or so guides out. So the reason I say all that, sorry for the long intro today, the reason I say all that is because I was gonna post today's video on that channel. Instead, I'm probably just gonna post it on both. And I want to talk, or I want to show you kind of what we do. Like, this is the type of format that we take on this channel when we talk about any champion. So I start with like all the requests, right, from you guys. And today's video is on Toragi the Frog. I think that he's the most underrated epic in the entire game. I don't even think it's close. I guess it comes down to what is underrated, you know, and it's subjective, like based on what I hear, the champions that I hear people talk about. But hopefully today I can compel you guys to agree with me that this dude is absolutely amazing. Now, we talked about one of my other favorite epics in yesterday's video, in case you missed it. That was, well, I won't ruin it. You guys can check that one out as well. Anyway, can we get Toragi the guide, Toragi the Frog guide, please? Allard looking for Toragi the Frog. SS Gift looking for Toragi the Frog. Man, Toragi the Frog is not that hard, Ash. We get a Ninja Asylum. We get Sean. We have so many people. The point I'm trying to make here, requesting Toragi the Frog, naming him as one of their most underrated. But then you could ask yourself, wait a second, if so many people want to see guides on him, does that mean that he's not underrated? Or does that mean that he's so underrated there's nothing on him on YouTube? I don't know, but a lot of requests. Shout out to all of you guys who keep providing the champion request here on the channel. You're what give me the ideas for my next video, and I appreciate you guys.
You're right. Rich people have lazy minds.
Let's take a look at this frog man. See what he does. See why he's so underrated, okay? So he is a Shadowkin epic champion, the big fella, right? He definitely has all the frog aesthetics. It's interesting, but he also has the Shadowkin aesthetics, right? He's definitely a unique and memorable champion, right? Some of you may know I'm part of the Fateless team, you know, Hell Hades and that entire group, Saf and Fixion and the whole crew, basically. And one thing that we talk about is what makes good heroes or champions in a video game like this, right? For those who don't know, developing our own game, you know, in the next year or so, we hope it to be released. And for me, my answer was personality, and something I'll remember, you know? Like, I remember, you know, a Vagabond, you know, a champion that sucks, a rare champion, but she has personality, you know? So I like that, and you can say the same thing about the Frogman. He's an HP-based epic. He's got 22k base HP almost, like really good. He's got a decreased attack, fantastic on the A1, okay? It's only a 40% land rate, as I knock over my drink. 40% land rate, but still, it's a decreased attack big version on his A1. On his A2, it's an AoE 50% provoke. 3-turn cooldown, but the chances increase by 5% for each debuff on the enemy team, the entire team, right? So that's actually pretty dang solid. If we can get like decreased defense and weaken, we can bump that up to easily 70-80% on the provoke, okay, depending on where we are, obviously. Bog Blessing is A3, is a 3-turn cooldown, okay? We have a shield, 15% of this champion's max HP, and an ally protect on all allies except this champion for 2 turns. So obviously, ally protect is the best damage mitigator inside the entire game. One champion is soaking up 50% of the damage from everybody else. It's great. Plus the shield, okay? Also heals this champion by 25% of his max HP and places a reflect damage on him for 3 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. The heal increases by 2.5% for each poison debuff on the enemy team. That's a great, big, girthy heal, plus more heal. And the poisons, well, it all comes together with toxic blood. And this is really what I was going to say catapulted, and then I was going to say skyrocket at the same time. Skyapulted him to a top echelon epic is the toxic blood. It's a little mini Euros the Soul Cage. When attacked, it's a 50% chance of placing the big version of a poison debuff on the attacker for 2 turns. Occurs once per hit. It makes him one of the better poison layers, especially over the course of longer battles, out of any epic in the game as well. Man, Frog's got it all, doesn't he, guys? He really does. Let's take a look at hellhades.com. This is another thing that we do on that channel. We look at, you know, I want to provide the most robust guide as possible for all of these champions. So we look at other people's opinions as well, not just mine. And Toragi the Frog, they give him a 4 overall rating on the Frogman. They give a little overview, and then in terms of different areas, a clan boss, I mean, that's probably going to be the first thing that comes into most of your minds when talking about this champion, right? Clan boss, he's a freaking goat.
I'm Frog.
He's got decreased, decreased attack, excuse me, on the A1. He's got that nice shield as well as the poisons on the passive and an ally protector. Now, mostly it's still unkillable teams in vogue for clan boss, but still, if you're not running an unkillable, you just want to switch things up a little bit, maybe free up some of those champions to use in non-speed tune comps in other areas of the game, try out the Frogman. They give him a 4.5 in Fire Knight, a 4.5 in Dragon, a 4.5 in Ice Golem, for obvious reasons. For Fire Knight, he has a reflect damage, which counts as hits, right? Not too bad, right? Not too bad. Can keep your team alive. For Dragon, he has the poisons. Fantastic. Even Dragon Hard, he's great. Ice Golem, he's got the ally protection and good survivability to keep himself alive as well, because you can't just have ally protection and then not a real tank to be able to withstand that AoE attack. So you can run him in Ice Golem as well. I would argue you can even run him in Ice Golem Hard. I would give him a little bit higher of a score personally in Ice Golem Hard. Scarab King, he's a 5. There's no argument to me. He's a 5, man. He can solo Scarab King Hard 100. As a matter of fact, we're going to show that to you guys today in the video.
Yeah, but when? Without
the most extreme best gear in the world too, right? Where else can we use him? Well, how about this, guys? How about all over the place in Cursed City? Okay, it's not here yet in terms of the scores, and it's hard to score because you're talking about different combinations of double bosses, but I'm gonna take him into Cursed City. Wherever he's available in Cursed City, he's generally pretty dang good, because he's bringing control with a provoke, he's bringing decreased attack, he's bringing the shields, he's bringing the heals, he's bringing the poisons, he's bringing the protection, he's bringing so much.
I'm overworked and underpaid. Feel sorry for me.
You can get some utility out of him at least somewhere in almost every type of content out there, okay? So they recommend, I don't have him awakened. They recommend Faultless Defense or Cruelty as a clan boss or a debuffer. I'll make my own recommendations, but I just wanted to, again, give a different opinion here. Perception, Speed, Lifesteal, Defense, Swift, Parry is their recommended artifact sets. The big glaring 2 that are missing here, in my opinion, are going to be Regeneration and Immortal Gear, okay? So with all that said, let's go ahead and see how we have him built. You probably can already guess by that big tell. But let me go. I was just using him in a couple different areas, so we have him fresh here at the top. Here he is, the Frogman. That's right, I have him in Regen and Immortal. Now, I want to be clear. You don't have to run him in Regen and Immortal only for Scarab King soloing. You can run him in Regen and Immortal for everywhere, right? I mean, we like having the extra HP. We love having the heals. He's taking damage naturally because he's an ally protector A and a provoker B. We need to keep him alive. So I love this dude in Regeneration and Immortal gear. And if you don't have any good regen available, maybe triple Immortal, I love it. You also need accuracy on him. So for that reason, if you you only maybe have like 1 or 2 immortal sets available, you can run perception on this dude, right? Early game, you can run life gear, you can run accuracy gear, speed gear, all work on this guy, right?
But this is too much work for me. This is too hard.
Pretty simple build here. I went accuracy on the banner. I didn't glyph all of his stuff out, nor did I ascend. Some of his gear was already hand-me-downs ascended. So, but anyway, defense on the amulet. I went HP on the ring. I went defense percentage on the gauntlets, HP percentage on the chest, and speed on the boots. Now, I want to talk about these gauntlets really quickly here. I only have 1 pair of good, 8, or decent, even, HP percentage gauntlets on regen on my entire account. And they're on Walking Tomb Drang, and I need them on him because he duos Sand Devil for me at 25. So for all that being said is I didn't have any other good HP. I would ideally run HP percentage on both the gauntlets and the chest. I repeat, I would run HP everywhere on this dude. It's a bit of a sacrifice because his defense is pretty low at 958, but he's generally very tanky. He feels tanky. He's like one of those champions that he just can take a hit. Maybe it's the aesthetics, the big body, it's the placebo effect. But I find running him in all-out HP works great because the heal is 25% of his HP, okay? And obviously we want more HP for that good shield on the A3 as well. 15% might not sound like much, but it's based on his HP. That's why I say all that again. You know, I don't think it's a great idea to totally ignore defense on the accessories. So again, HP and defense, 1 of each. I think that's totally fine. I think most people are gonna go accuracy on the banner, but I would go HP percentage, HP percentage. It scales so much better too off of that 22K, right? So just wanted to point that out. On Masteries, this is an old Mastery build. Oftentimes I'll redo it for these videos just to make sure everything's exactly where I want it. But you know, for the most part, this is going to be, you know what? I have a free reset. Let's get in there and do it. I was going to say for the most part, this is going to be fine, but I didn't love it, honestly. So we can go support or defense on this, or excuse me, we can go defense and support, or support and offense. I think those are our choices here on Toragi the Frog. Now for me, I like going offense. I like picking up War Master because in some of these kind of solo-ish runs, you know, the poisons are going to do the heavy lifting, but it's nice to have a little bit of extra damage. That being said, if you really want to build the ultimate tank, there's nothing wrong with going down on defense and picking up Bulwark and Selfless Defender as well. So I guess in today's video, I'm just going to try an alternate build and I'll go support and defense. But again, keep in mind, picking up crit rate, going down the left-hand side, basically I would just go all the way down the left-hand side, pick up War Master for some damage, and that will help min-max your runs and make them a little bit faster in most cases. But you know, if you're using them in endgame content, you're going to need them to be super tanky for reasons that we spoke about earlier. So I'm going to pick up all of the accuracy masteries. You could, if you have enough accuracy, if you're running like a double or triple perception, or you just have enough anyway, you could just go with the HP and come, you know, down the shield masteries, pick up the shield masteries, basically akin to a healing build, right? He has the rapid resp. Okay, he's going to be casting so many debuffs with these poisons on this toxic blood. For that reason, I highly recommend we pick up Arcane Celerity unless he's on some sort of a speed tune team. 30% chance to increase turn meter when a debuff expired or is removed. But again, he's pumping out poisons like there's no tomorrow on that passive. So let's make sure we get some extra turn meter built in as well. Now, I only have 1 basic set and Immortal on him, so Lore of Steel is not going to be a must-have. I'll go. Neither is Evil Eye, frankly, but I'm going to go with Evil Eye. Let's work a little bit on the defense tree, right? I'm going to go with the defense. I'm going to come down with Blast Proof. We're going to go down with Resurgent. Very good on this champion. We'll see why in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and pick up... we're going to pick up Delay Death, and then we're going to come down to Selfless Defender. And we could go with, if we wanted to, we could go Eagle Eye to get extra accuracy if we needed it. But I'm going to go Bulwark, and we're just going to make him the ultimate tank, right? Selfless Defender is going to mitigate 20% of the first hit damage. And then on Bulwark, 5% of all damage mitigated. So now we got to be very cognizant here. He's taken a ton of damage, right, in this build. This is a good kind of ice golem type build, right? Or really anywhere that you're going against heavy hitters. We also want a chance at increasing the duration of the Master Hexer, and most importantly, Sniper will bring that poison shot up to a 55% chance, and the decreased attack will bump that up on the A1 as well. So Sniper to me is what Sniper, Arcane Celerity are definitely two that there's no way I'm going to miss out on. Probably Master Hexer you could say the same about. So I'm just going to go with Cycle of Magic, and we're going to go with Rejuvenation. Really dealer's choice there on the last few. So that's the build, guys. Let's take him into battle, right?
But until it comes, let's have some fun. What do I have to do to get a little famous?
I want to end with Scarab King. I think Clan Boss, his kit is pretty intuitive, and I'm not going to make a whole old school non-speed tune team. I'm sure I'm like you guys to a large extent, probably, right? Where I have my Clan Boss team, I know what it does, and I don't want to touch it. So
You are a coward.
So I want to start at this double boss, stage P12, hard here, and it strikes me that the Scarab King and the hard spider is going to be a challenge for a lot of folks out there, especially with the limitations. So we have Toragi to be our main DPS against the Scarab King, and again, I'm going to show you a Scarab King hard 100 Doom Tower solo run right after this as well, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But on this team, as I said, I mean, he's going to be responsible for so much, and we could build him, as I was talking about the different builds on this champion, I should have mentioned, we can build him a lot higher resist as well, right? Nothing wrong with that. We actually have Tila built in high resist, which is really nice. That's going to come into handy. She's going to help heal my team, right? So we can build him the same way. The cool thing, though, is Toragi. Now, obviously, we don't want him provoke the entire battle, right? That's not ideal. But with Toragi, we can actually get by pretty effectively against Scarab King specifically, having him CC the entire battle. He's going to be able to heal himself all by himself, right? Just vis-a-vis the regen and the immortal gear. So we don't need him to heal with the A3. We don't need him to provoke at all. And he's going to land all of his poisons. You can already see in full effect, right? He's going to land all his poisons all by himself just through the passive. We don't need him to really be non-CC'd there. So I don't think he's even had a turn here, I would say. So in a situation like this, you could easily make the argument, hey, put that dude in some high resist gear. But it's going to be very effective no matter what, okay? So our attack is basically single-handedly handling the spider. I should say Tila's helping out too. And then Mishinaki we have on the team, but now that I look at it, this comp, I haven't even beat the level, by the way, guys. I saw this and I'm like, okay, this is a perfect spot for the Frogman, right?
And for a rat too.
Yeah, man. I mean, Artak and Tila are basically handling the spider, and then he's single-handedly handling the Scarab King.
I am tired of being strong.
You can see his shield up here, this little purple line. Obviously, it's not going down. We don't have any champions in destroy gear, but we should and could probably have, in place of like a Michinaki here, we could probably run a... a destroy Royal Guard or something like that, or put Michinaki even in destroy gear or somebody. So at this point, it's going to be a little bit slower. It's just basically waiting for his poisons to kill the Scarab King, right? I mean, you can see they're ticking away. So I'll come at you guys at the end of this run. It doesn't even matter if everybody dies other than him. He's going to be okay. But again, it is probably noteworthy here. Having him in high resist would help, not in terms of how fast it is to kill the boss. The poisons are going to land regardless of if he's CC'd or not, but it would help in terms of healing himself and supporting the rest of the team, okay? Which obviously is going to be ideal if you're in a position where you need him to keep everybody else alive with that A3. So I'll come back to you guys when we kill this Scarab King, and we'll go to the other Scarab King. All right, guys, so only 161 turns, no big deal, but we got it done, right? Toragi puts out 300 milli in the damage department, some healing as well. Not too bad. What did I get here? Well, I'll look at it later. All right, guys, let's go ahead and run an old school Scarab King, excuse me. We'll go to Doom Tower hard. This one's going to be super, super easy. Again, we don't need him in high resist because he's going to heal himself anyway. way in the region in Immortal gear. The nice thing is a part of a whole team as well on Scarab King. If you're just progressing and brand new, he does have that shield that he brings to the team as well. So a lot of stuff going for Toragi the Frog. I have Trenda in here just to help me with the waves, but she's going to die on the very first turn of the Scarab King. So, you know, she's just going to help make this a little bit faster, this part of the process, right? So what I'm going to do is going to be a longer run too, probably another like, you know, 4 to 7 minute run or so. So once Trenda dies, I will cut to the end, but I want to, you know, keep you guys with me just to take a look at Toragi the Frogman in action. Now, I'm showing you Scarab King. I'm showing you various areas in Curse City, but don't make any mistake about it here. This dude, as we spoke about earlier, he's incredibly versatile. I mean, where couldn't you utilize a kit like this? There's not that many areas in the game that you're like, nah, I don't need all that stuff. You know, anyway, I'll be right back when we actually get to the Scarab King. It wasn't too long later. I could have just stayed with you guys. So we're going to come in. And you're going to see the poisons, they start racking up. And you'll notice 2 of those poisons have a 3-turn duration. We're getting those Master Hexer procs on those poisons, which is extremely valuable, right? Now, if you're lucky enough to have a debuff extender as well on your account, you can do some really crazy kind of old school things with Toragi too. Like a Viziro Velis, for example. You can extend the duration of all those poisons so they really just never fall off, right? But as it is right now, we're seeing the same thing that we just saw in the Cursed City, right? We're seeing him basically stay alive vis-a-vis the artifact sets, and then just keep putting those poisons down. We don't care about the shield, we just care about those poisons. Now, guild boss, basically any boss susceptible to poison, you're gonna be able to get, you know, that same sort of effect. Now, I've seen people run him in a toxic set on top of having the poison passive to just pump out more poison damage. Personally, I'm still more of a fan of him in regen and immortal. I just think the overall survivability is crucial first and foremost on this champion. But of course, you could utilize him in that way, provided you can keep him alive, you know, during a longer battle or like a dragon run or something like that. So really, from Faction Wars to almost all the dungeons out there to, you know, bosses like Scarab King or others out there as well, he can definitely get the job done. So he's actually going pretty fast. We're only 2 minutes and 30 seconds into this run, and obviously he's having no problem healing himself through. This is, again, the toughest floor of Scarab King, floor 100, Doom Tower hard. I'll come back to you.
How did you learn to speak so well?
I'll come back at you guys at the end of this run. All right, guys, so it has been about, I don't know, 6 minutes or so. Well, it's right on the screen. It's been 6 minutes and 25 seconds, Ash. It's been 6 minutes, but he got the job done. It was never in jeopardy. A bunch of poisons. He was provoked half the time. Doesn't even matter because of the Immortal in the regeneration set. So there he goes, soloing this Scarab King, floor 100, hard Doom Tower. This dude really does have it all in terms of incredibly unique skill set that not even a lot of legendaries have in the game, minus our Sans Euros of Soul Cage. So guys, we're gonna go ahead and end this video there. Let me know what you think of Toragi the Frog. I really love this dude, man. Guys, take it easy. Thanks for watching, and as always, take care.